Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is News at 12.
News at 12.
In the local scene, the provincial government of Albay has launched a 10 million peso freshwater hatchery project in Kamalig to strengthen fish supply and improve fisherfolk livelihoods. The Albay Provincial Multi-Species Freshwater Hatchery is expected to produce at least 1 million fingerlings to support local aquaculture and reduce dependence on outside sources. Governor Noel E. Rizal said the project will benefit fishing communities across the province once completed. The facility will also serve as a training and dispersal center to promote sustainable fish farming practices. Construction is expected to be completed within 2 to 3 months, with inauguration targeted by September or October. Officials said the project will support food security while creating additional income opportunities in the fisheries sector. In other story, the Albay Provincial Agriculture Office is set to launch an information drive promoting proper planting to help households achieve food self-sufficiency. Department Head Daryl John O. Buenconsejo said the office is producing a series of instructional infomercials with step-by-step guides on home-based planting techniques. The videos will be posted on the official Apple Facebook page and shared through media partners for wider reach across the province. Buenconsejo said home gardening is a practical strategy during crisis as it helps reduce daily household food expenses. The office is urging Albayanos to maximize available space at home to support the province's food security efforts. In other news, Western Visayas, particularly Iloilo, will visit Bicol, including Albay and Sorsogon, in the last week of April for a travel exchange program aimed at boosting tourism and regional collaboration. The Provincial Tourism, Culture and Arts Office, Albay, is leading local coordination for the activity. Organizers expressed appreciation to the Department of Tourism, Bicol, the Albay Tourism Officers Association, and partnered local government units for supporting the program. The exchange is expected to strengthen cooperation between Western Visayas and Bicol region in promoting tourism destinations and cultural attractions. Officials said the activity will also showcase Albay's tourism sites and help build long-term partnerships between the two regions. In the national scene, House Minority Leader and 4Peace Party List Representative Marcelino Nonoy Libanan called on the Department of Energy and the Department of Justice to act against what he described as unreasonable fuel prices increases amid the ongoing oil crisis linked to tensions in the Middle East. Libanan said both agencies should enforce Republic Act No. 8479, which created a joint Department of Energy and DOJ task force tasked with addressing complaints about unjustified hikes in petroleum prices. He stressed that the government must take firm and immediate action to protect consumers, especially as the country faces declared state of national energy emergency. The lawmakers' appeal comes after Iran launched missile strikes following earlier attacks by the United States and Israel on February 28, which pushed global oil prices higher. Fuel costs have sharply increased while global prices remain unstable due to a temporary 2-week ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran that is set to expire soon unless extended. In other story, Senator Erwin Tufel said the Senate Blue Ribbon panel is expected to complete its investigation into the alleged irregularities in flood control projects after former Congressman Saldi Ko returns to the Philippines. The statement came after Ko was arrested in the Czech Republic while attempting to cross border without proper documents. Tufel said finalizing the inquiry may allow the government to address other national issues. He also noted that while the country is dealing with a fuel crisis linked to the developments in the Middle East, accountability in the case remains important. Authorities said Ko, who left the country in July 2025, is facing graft and malversation charges over allegations that he received billions of pesos in kickbacks from contractors and public works officials. In other news, a bill seeking to strengthen the rights of student journalists has been filed in the House of Representatives by Mamamayang Liberal Representative Leila de Lima, proposing the Campus Press Freedom Act to replace the existing Campus Journalism Act of 1991. De Lima said the current law is flawed and fails to fully protect campus journalists, who continue to face harassment, censorship from school officials, and even red tagging and surveillance by state forces. She added that the law does not guarantee stable funding for student publications or require schools to establish and maintain them, leaving many campus media groups vulnerable or inactive. The proposed measure aims to ensure editorial independence, provide clearer protection against censorship, and require schools at all levels to support or revive student publications. The Catalyst, the official student publication of the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, reported that its Facebook page was hacked and taken down after it covered a workers' strike, and it is now seeking to recover the account while continuing its operations through other platforms. And in the news outside the country, Iran's military said Saturday that it had again closed the Strait of Hormuz just hours after reopening it, creating confusion as several commercial ships attempted to pass through the key global shipping route. The move raised doubts about U.S. President Donald Trump's claim that a peace deal with Iran was closed, especially as tensions continued over a U.S. naval blockade and Iran's warning it could shut the strait again. Despite a temporary ceasefire linked to the wider conflict involving Israel and Hezbollah, mixed signals from Iran and ongoing military pressure caused ships to change course, with some turning back while others moved cautiously through the area. At the same time, peace talks led by Pakistan continued, but major issues like Iran's uranium stockpile and control of the strait remained unresolved, while ordinary Iranians still faced a prolonged internet blackout. In another story, 2 civilian contractors delivering water for UNICEF were killed in Israeli troops in northern Gaza, prompting outrage from the UN agency. The Israeli military said soldiers opened fire after identifying 2 armed individuals approaching near the Yellow Line, describing them as terrorists and stating the incident is under review. UNICEF said the shooting took place at the Monzura water filling point, a key hub for humanitarian water trucking operations, which was later suspended following the incident. The agency called for an immediate investigation, stressing that humanitarian workers and essential civilian infrastructure are protected under international humanitarian law. Gaza's health ministry reported 72,549 deaths since October 7, 2023, including 773 since a ceasefire in October, while the Israeli military said recent operations in northern and southern Gaza included the killing of 2 infiltrators and the loss of 5 soldiers. And finally, in the news outside the country with reference to the Philippines, Myanmar has released 78 Filipinos who were detained for alleged illegal entry and overstaying, according to the Department of Foreign Affairs. The group is made up of 27 women and 51 men who were rescued from scam operations in Myawaddy, Myanmar. The Philippine Embassy in Yangon is working with Myanmar authorities to organize their safe and orderly return to the Philippines. The Department of Foreign Affairs thanked Myanmar for the release, noting the Filipinos were reportedly trafficked with promises of jobs abroad and were earlier sentenced to 1 year in prison after their rescue from the scam centers. And that's the news at 12, April 20, 2026. We'll be back tomorrow for more news updates. And thanks to our news writers, Naomi Ruth Hernandez and LJ Lurejo. And on the technical side, Chad Borbis. And our Provincial Information Office OIC, Marty Gonzalez. And under the supervision of our Governor, Noel Irusal, I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing. Albay in my heart.